Being a man has never been so confusing. On the one hand, you have an older vision of masculinity, a man who sits at home stuffing biscuits, beer, popcorn and crisps down his throat, remote in hand, watching Dave. On the other hand, you have a newer vision of what it means to be a man who takes pride in his appearance, someone who grooms and maybe even manscapes, a man perhaps something like this. In today's feature, we're going to be talking to students, asking them what they think it means to be a modern man. What does society expect of a man today?
I think it depends, which fragment of society you're in, because society is very fragmented.
Everything. You've got to be, well, no, you're supposed to be quite masculine, like macho sort of thing, but at the same time you can't be too masculine. You've got to be in touch with the feminine side.
It's quite a broad question, isn't it?
Do you find balancing the two difficult?
Not for me, because I'm neither of those things. I get too confused by it, so I just do what seems right at the time.
So do you feel pressured by society or not?
Yeah, but I ignore it. I don't really.
Do you think that's the case for most men?
I hope so, but probably not.
I'm American, so I don't know if this will be easy for people to relate to watch this, but if you live in, say, a rural area, or to be politically incorrect, a red state, the expectations of masculinity are very different from living in, say, New York City or New York, which is where I come from.
Right now, I think men aren't seen to be as manly as they have been in the past.
To make money, I think, is what's really sort of looked up to.
I don't know, I mean, I guess I'm from Sweden, and there's the whole talk of gender equality and that, so I guess that today's modern man has old pressures of the kind of old macho ideals as well, coming from guys that are oh, you need to be good at sports and do this and be a lad, and then at the same time, society overall wants you to be more caring and taking more responsibilities in home and that sort of thing, so I guess that in total, there's more pressure on men these days.
We have to know our place in society, so we used to have, there used to be a different picture because we used to have to go to work, and now basically we have to let women do lots of that work as well, and we basically have to try to equilibrate the roles, so it's kind of a new thing, but I think we're managing quite well.
Have you ever found it difficult balancing being a traditional man with a sort of newer vision of what masculinity is?
Very much so. I'm quite old-fashioned, and I feel the kind of traditional traits of manhood are being lost. For me, I'll always hold the door open for a girl, or if I'm walking with a female, I'll always walk roadside. Kind of the idea of being a protector, I suppose.
No, I don't really find it difficult.
Do you think about it?
I don't know, I think about gender roles a lot.
Well, for me, it's over the last, probably a couple of decades, it's been a large feminist movement. So it's kind of seen that, anytime a man stands up and acts manly, it's kind of seen as anti-feminist, anti-women's rights, rather than simply just being a man, I suppose.
I don't know, coming from Sweden, especially compared to here, people aren't as macho in Sweden. People are more macho here, so I guess that here I kind of noticed that there are a lot more guys who are "Bruh," kind of thing, rather more than in Sweden.
Are there some things you wouldn't do because you think that they're feminine or
No, I don't know, not really.
Well, not a lot. Just sometimes, for example, when you're in a pub, there are certain drinks that you'd only get if you're a girl. So, basically. So you wouldn't go and get certain cocktails, for example. That's all.
Do you think that's changed? I mean, do you think over the last few years, perhaps, you've increasingly done more feminine things?
No, I don't think men have done more feminine things. I think it's the other way around. Women are doing more masculine things.
Do you ever feel intimidated by men who spend a lot of time on their appearance?
I just don't understand it. Yeah, I'd say it's kind of intimidating, but it's because I don't understand it, probably. So you fear what you don't understand.
No. I don't think that's very important.
No.
No, I mean, I put some effort myself, I put some effort in myself.
I think you can do that if you want. It shouldn't define you, though. I mean, just the superficiality for both genders is bad.
How important do you think appearance is now to being a man?
In general, I think it's a lot more important than it ever has been.
I'd say it's pretty important. I don't know if that's changed though.
I think in the past, even though like men make me look smart and things, there wasn't so much a fashion side.
I don't know. I feel like now certain styles are even, I mean, they're about not taking pride in your appearance in a way and like appearing shaggy or, you know, like unkempt. Like that appearance is even stylish itself.
I think there's more attention to appearance, I think. Or to a certain kind of appearance, you've got to make yourself look cleaner, whereas I think before you could be a rough and ready, like coal miner. You'd be fine. It's not the 1980s anymore. So.
Do you think being more feminine is almost a new way of getting man points?
I don't think it is.
No.
I don't want to sound chauvinistic or anything, but I think on the one hand, women are quite fond of more feminized men, but like on a more subconscious level, I think they may be getting tired of it. I don't know.
Do you think the metrosexual is the new alpha male?
I don't know.
I hope not.
Yeah.
I mean,
for me, I don't see this being like that.
Definitely not. Well, number one, I'm not like that. And number two, basically they sort of dominate certain aspects of our culture, for example, all these magazines and the model world maybe, and advertising and all that. But people that are really successful, I think, are men that are not metrosexual.
I'd say, I would go as far to say that the alpha male is a dying breed in a sense, because it's become, you know, hip in a way to express like your feminine side.
Would you consider yourself an alpha male?
Well, I wouldn't say I'm not one, but I don't want to be stuck up about it, so I'm not going to comment.
So from talking to the people at the library, it seems that the metrosexual is not the new alpha male. So for the moment, the man drinking Stella on the sofa is safe.